In the last video, we spoke about the Super Eagles squad for the Unity Cup, but Coach Eric Schell announced a whole separate squad for the June 6th friendly match versus Russia. Some players are out, some players are in, some players remain. Let's get into it. The goalkeepers, we have Maduka Okoye and we have Amas Obasoge of Singida Black Stars in Tanzania. Defenders, William Shtekon comes into the squad. Player for Al Khulud in Saudi Arabia, Ola is back. Midfielders, Wilfred Ndidi remains in the squad. Franco Yinka remains in the squad. Rafael Onyedika of Club Brugge in Belgium comes in. Fisal Dele Bashiru of Lazio in Italy comes in. Christantus Uche of Getafe in Spain remains. And Papadano of Niger Tornadoes in Nigeria remains. For the forwards, Victor Boniface of Bayer Leverkusen in Germany comes into the squad. Samuel Chukwueze of AC Milan remains in the team. Kelechi Iheanacho of Middlesbrough in England remains in the team. Simon Moses of FC Nantes in France remains there. Nathan Teller of Bayer Leverkusen in Germany remains. Tolu Arukudare of KRC Genk in Belgium remains in the squad. And Sadiq Umar of Valencia CF in Spain comes into the squad. That is the Super Eagles squad to face Russia on June 6th in an international friendly. Let's get into the major talking points that have been bubbling up on social media since the squad was announced. I think the first question that we have to look at is, where are Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman? Okay, we said the Unity Cup was a nothing tournament. We understood Osimhen had a game on the 1st of June, etc. That's why he wasn't in the squad. But why are they not playing this friendly against Russia? So here's the thing. Like I just said, Osimhen has a game on the 1st of June. This game against Russia is on the 6th of June. So to finish in Turkey, celebrate league title, party a little bit, celebrate probably a parade in Istanbul, and then fly down to Russia to play this game. How feasible is it? Not that feasible. Not impossible, but not that feasible. Also, is it good for him after a long season to immediately come and play an international friendly? Maybe not. Ademola Lookman, okay, you might say, but Lookman's season ends on the 25th of May. So he has enough time to make it down to Russia for the game. Yes, I agree. But something that is underlying that you might not necessarily think about is the fact that these two players, Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, albeit that they are key players for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are two players that really need to sort out their futures at club level. And I just want to believe that the opportunity for them to sort out their futures, to pack from their current clubs, to talk to their agents, to meet with other teams before maybe going on a long holiday is something that the Super Eagles and the NFF and Eric Schell are giving them an opportunity to do. So while it would have been nice to see them play in the friendly, I think that is a good reason for them not playing. It can also be a case of maybe just managing their workload, after a long season. We already know how good they are. We know what they give. You don't really need to assess Osimhen. You don't really need to assess Lookman. You know exactly what you get from them. So I think it could be the reason why these two players are excluded from this match against Russia. What do you think? Is it rest? Is it scheduling issues? Is it something else? Let me know in the comments. Another question a lot of people have been asking, why is Kelechi Iheanacho in this squad? Okay, you included him in the squad for the Unity Cup, but he's here again in Russia. I cannot tell you exactly why he was called up. Unfortunately, the Super Eagles don't really do press conferences to explain squad decisions. I am of the opinion that Kelechi Iheanacho has not deserved this call up. We know he's senior man. We know what he has done for Nigeria in the past. But Kelechi Iheanacho had a very bad season playing for both Sevilla and Middlesbrough. And he just does not deserve it right now. Some names that have been called up or that have been touted on social media as players that are more deserving, maybe the likes of Chidera Ejuke. If we look at it, Ejuke also did not have a great season for Sevilla. So it's hard to say that Ejuke in particular should have been there, but just based on the fact that Iheanacho has not been impressive for both his clubs and also in recent times for Nigeria, I would have to agree with people that are saying that he should not have been included in the team. That spot could have been given to somebody more enterprising, a younger player who's on the come up, who is playing well at club level, could have taken that opportunity. And also, when you look at the fact that Cyril Dessers was in the Unity Cup squad, but was removed for the game against Russia, you're also like, Iheanacho over Dessers? How is that decision being made? So I definitely understand the issue. And that takes me to my next question that people have been asking. Where is Cyril Dessers? Where is Leon Balogun? Where is Gabriel Osho? For Cyril Dessers, I cannot explain it. Unless there's a reason why maybe he personally doesn't want to go to Russia or something. I honestly cannot explain it. Because Cyril Dessers has been a goal scorer throughout the season. Top goal scorer in the Scottish Prem. Fantastic season for Rangers. For him not to get called up, even after being on the Unity Cup list, I don't want to believe that Eric Shell just decided to snub him. I think there must be something maybe personal underneath that we're just not privy to that kind of information. Honestly, it shocks me. When I look at Leon Balogun, not in either of the squads, I also wonder, like, Leon had a good season. I know he's on the older side, but he's still someone that can offer something to the squad. Why is he not there? Gabriel Shaw also playing for AJ Auxerre in France. What does he need to do? You know, some players that he's clearly doing better than at club level are getting called up. I like Igor Ogbu, but Gabriel Shaw is a better defender than Igor Ogbu as of today. So I don't know exactly the issue with him there. It's a question that the NFF, the Super Eagles coach Eric Shell, probably have to answer for us to get a definitive, understanding of it. But I understand why people are upset. I understand why people are asking the questions. Again, whenever the Super Eagles drop a list, there's always going to be controversy. There's always going to be so many different opinions. But I think some obvious questions kind of need to be answered for us to understand and for people to stop talking about things like corruption and all the other things that people allege go on in the NFF and the Super Eagles decision making. Two key players that are also missing from this squad are Alex Iwobi and Calvin Bassey. They are not in the Unity Cup squad. They are not in the Russia squad. Now, I cannot use the reason I used for Osimhen and Lookman saying that they want to know their futures. As far as I know, Alex Iwobi and Calvin Bassey are both very steady and comfortable at Fulham. So why are they not there? Is this something personal? Did they just not feel like coming? Does the coach feel like he already knows what he's going to get for them, so he doesn't necessarily need to see them in the friendlies? I do not know exactly. I do not know exactly. I doubt if there's any way that the coach doesn't see these two players as part of his future plans. So maybe it is just after a long season, they deserve some rest. Let me use the opportunity to assess other players and test other options. That could be it. That could be it. I think whatever the reason, these are two players that we are definitely going to miss in the squad because we know what they bring. But at the same time, I am not mad at it. I am not mad at it. While I don't think that the Russia game is that important, I think it's going to be a fairly competitive friendly for us. I'm missing two of our good players. Can hurt us in the game, but I think it's more about Eric Shell understanding his players and seeing how he can set the team up in the future. Now, a big question that people have been asking is, what is the significance of this Russia friendly for the Super Eagles in particular? The game is supposed to serve as a prep match for us. It is supposed to be a prep match for Eric Shell to be able to get his team organized before we resume World Cup qualification in September. However, it can be looked at as a bit backwards to face Russia when you're preparing to face African sides because the physicality, the technicality, everything, the style of play, the tactics, all going to be different. So I just think it is about Eric Shell being able to work with his players, being able to have some training sessions under his belt, being able to talk more about the way he wants the team to play, being able to instill his tactics, and to test out some new players like Christantus Uche. Maduka Okoye is back in the fold, so maybe for a chance to see Maduka Okoye up close and personal. I think this game doesn't have much significance in the grand scheme of things, but at least the Super Eagles are going to be playing a game, unlike what has been happening with the Super Falcons for some months now. But that's another story entirely. A very big question that has also been asked is, okay, we want to play friendly. Fine. Okay, we want to play a team that is not in Africa. Fine. Why are we playing against a team that has been banned by FIFA? The number one answer to that question, guys, it's all about the money, baby. It's all about the money. You guys know that, or maybe you don't know, I'll tell you. Football matches between international teams don't just happen. It's organized by match agents. Money exchanges hands. The NFF needs money. So whoever is willing to organize a game, is willing to invite the Super Eagles, is willing to pay that invitation fee, is willing to cover costs of logistics, etc., the NFF will take it. The NFF will take it. Now, there's the ethical part of it. If everybody's not in support of what's going on in Ukraine, should we be facing Russia? Maybe the ethics don't matter when money is involved. Maybe the NFF says, well, we're going to keep politics away from football. All we are thinking about is that Russia is a good team, normal. We want to face a good team and we're going to face them. Also, there's the logistical part. Visas, travel to Moscow is not that easy. So maybe that can be a reason why some players are missing out. But I think that ultimately the reason we are playing Russia is money. We are going to get paid a good amount of money to face Russia. Russia is going to cover the logistics. And Nigeria needs an opponent. So all parties are happy. The game is going to happen. Now, of course, this squad, like I mentioned, is different from the Unity Cup squad. A lot of the home-based players are not part of this squad. Ahmed Musa is not part of this squad for the Russia friendly, but still there's no Victor Osimhen, there's no Ademola Lookman, there's no Kevin Bassi, there's no Alex Iwobi. The likes of Victor Boniface return, the likes of Ekong, Aina return. Let us see what Eric Shell is cooking. We know that his first two games did not go exactly as planned, but with the impending deduction of points for South Africa, we are still in with a chance. In fact, you can say it's now in our hands more than it was in the past for us to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And Eric Shell needs everything that he can get in order to have the best chance of achieving that goal and qualifying the team for the World Cup. So while I'm not too big on the fact that we're going to be facing Russia, let us see how it goes. I'm going to be behind the team. As always, I'm going to support the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I hope that they're able to win. And I hope that Eric Shell is able to learn some important things that he will take into the games in September. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What you think about the squad? What you think about the included players? What you think about the players that are omitted? And what you think about the fact that we are facing a FIFA-banned team in Russia? If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to hit the like button so that you can send a positive signal to YouTube about the content that we're making. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can enjoy more Nigerian football content. And if you haven't watched the video talking about the Unity Cup squad, click the link that is on screen now. And if you want to see our video where we ranked the top 20 Nigerian midfielders of all time, click this other link on your screen. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one. My name is Ayoti. This is EaglesTracker, home of Nigerian football. Bye-bye.